Hello! This video is to talk about a portion of our food program training. You may or may not know this, but we get reimbursed by the government for a portion of the food that we serve to the children. But we only get reimbursed if we serve it correctly. So this video is about milk. Somewhere in your classroom, you should have a copy of the serving requirements. If you don't have one, please check in the office. If you'd like one in color, let the office know and we'll get you one in color. But it's fairly simple to read. For instance, here is breakfast, and it talks about how much each group, toddlers, preschool, school age, what is their minimum requirement that they need for milk, vegetables, grains, for lunch or supper, which we don't serve. Same thing, toddlers, preschoolers, school age, what is their minimum requirement for fluid milk, meat, vegetables, fruit, grains. On the back side, it has snacks. What is their minimum requirement? Same thing. For milk, school agers have it made in the shade because in a carton of milk, there are 8 ounces. And thankfully for breakfast, lunch, and snack, the minimum requirement for school age is 8 ounces. So they are set. They don't have to do any math. They just make sure that each child is offered 8 fluid ounces of milk. Toddlers, it's also a little easier for them because for all of their breakfast, lunch, and snack, their minimum requirement is half a cup or 4 fluid ounces of milk. I'll show those in cups later, but I know toddlers use sippy cups. The older toddlers do use cups, but they are served half a cup of milk. Preschool, it gets a little trickier. For breakfast, preschoolers need to be served 3/4 of a cup or 6 fluid ounces of milk. For lunch, their requirement is 3/4 of a cup, but for lunch, we just give them the carton, of course. For snack, it is half a cup or 4 fluid ounces. We have to do the math in our group, but what that means is 6 ounces means 3/4 of that carton. So for preschool, for breakfast time, 3 cartons will serve 4 children because you can get those 4 6-ounce servings out of this 24 ounces of milk, these 3 times 8. See, we're using math just like they said we would in school. Here's where it gets a little tricky. When I first was trained, we did this every single year, and we made very clear what the difference was between these 2 sizes of cups. School agers right now, I think, are the only ones that are using these larger 10-ounce cups. I think all of the rest of the classrooms are used to using this smaller cup, which is fine, but you do need to know what the measurements are. Here's a cup that's been marked. This is one of those smaller 7-ounce cups. About halfway between the lines, that's 1/4 of a cup, which is what you would do for juice for many of classes. We'll do that another time. If you're filling this cup just to that top line, that is only half a cup of milk. That is only 4 ounces of milk. To give them the proper amount, if you are serving milk in this small glass for breakfast, you need to go between that line and the top. Now, I understand that that is a quite full cup of milk, and some children are going to have trouble holding it. The same amount of milk can go in this 10-ounce cup to that top line. That is 6 ounces of milk. For preschool, this is the amount of milk that they need at breakfast. We can't do what we've been doing, where we're just filling it up because that's the easy non-tippable line and then offering them some later. We can't do what we've done in the past where we'll say, oh, I'm just going to give you a little bit and I'll give you a little more later. If we would have an inspection to be reimbursed, they are supposed to get the entire amount of milk when it is set down in front of them. I do have some cups that are all rigged up for all this milk math and this juice math that you can do. But just so you know, we have to supply them with the correct amount of milk. You can either refer to these charts that I have made, but the easiest thing to do is to find that chart that is in your classroom so we know the minimum amount of milk to be serving them. Thank you. If you have any questions, please talk to Lisa or to Victoria or me because I made this video. Thank you.